Unfortunately, nobody is ready for what is coming. And I know this because I talk to many people every single day. I get hundreds and hundreds of comments from you guys here on this channel. I get emails and I read reports. And I can tell you, the American people are not ready for what we are about to face together. So today I want to break down what is happening, what report just came out today, but what official report is coming out tomorrow. That is going to dictate the path forward. Again, this is troubling because the majority of Americans have no idea what is coming or how to get through it. So again, I'm going to break this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So we have a few problems. The first problem is jobs. The second problem is inflation. The third problem is savings. But look at the report that came out today. It says August private payrolls rose by 99,000, the smallest gain since 2021 and far below estimates. Okay, this is the smallest gain we have seen since 2021. The good news is we are still adding more jobs every single month, but the concern is that these job numbers have been, well, pretty much falsified. They've been fake. They've been too high. We exaggerate the numbers every single month. And we learned just last month that the US exaggerated numbers by over 800,000 for last year. So this number coming in saying we increased our private payrolls by 99,000, well, that's great. But when you factor in an adjustment, there's a good chance this is going to be closer to 30 to 40,000. So again, not a lot of jobs. But this is the reason why this is such a big deal. Because of this. It says employment could spark a 50 basis point cut and a panic move by the Federal Reserve. We know on September 17th and 18th, there's an FOMC meeting. This is when the Federal Reserve is going to decide how much or if they're going to cut our interest rates. Right now, many people are expecting a 25 basis point rate cut. But if we see unemployment tick up, if we see people are not getting hired on by many people, we're seeing wages drop, all these things happen. The bad news is, well, we're out of jobs. The good news, that could actually push the Federal Reserve to cut rates quicker. The problem there is experts say it's going to cause additional inflation. But I want to read you a few things, okay? From this article from CNBC, I want to read you the key points really quick. It says companies hired just 99,000 workers last month, less than the downwardly revised 111,000 jobs in July, and below the consensus forecast of 140,000 according to the payroll processing firm ADP for this month. Now, it says the report corroborates multiple data points recently that showed hiring has slowed considerably from its blistering pace following the COVID outbreak in early 2020. Here's what happened. And again, I bring this to your attention because many people don't realize what happened over the past few years. What happened is companies grew so quickly. We had a boatload of stimulus. People were saving money. We were using credit cards because interest rates were just being cut. Right? Everything was just so cheap. We were buying homes because, again, why not when we have a 2 to 3% interest rate on a 30-year fixed rate loan? Or we're buying cars because, again, auto loans so cheap. Now, what happened over that time was we just kept spending and spending and spending. Businesses were growing, everybody was booming, the US was doing great. But eventually we stopped buying homes because we just bought one. We don't need to buy a new home every year. We just bought a car, so we don't need a new one. We don't need to buy a car every year. We just bought new furniture. So why go get new furniture 1 to 2 years later when we still have pretty much brand new furniture? That's the issue. Now people aren't spending. Now we don't even have money saved. Look at this. It says personal savings rate dips amid strong consumer spending. The U.S., the consumers are not spending money or not saving money. We're spending it. which is part of the problem. And this is what nobody's ready for. How much money do you have in savings? Let me just ask you this, and just think about it. You don't have to write it. You don't have to comment. Just think about how much money you have in savings. If you have 6 months to, let's say, a year of an emergency fund. So let's say you spend $4,000 a month on all your expenses. $4,000 a month. So for 6 months, you would need $24,000. So you need an emergency fund between $24,000 and $48,000 in savings in your emergency fund, just to make sure you're good. Here's the problem. The majority of Americans cannot afford a $1,000 emergency fund. Nonetheless, a $48,000 emergency fund. But this is why I'm bringing this to your attention today. Look at this chart right here. Okay? Look at this. So right here, this big line is going up. This is when we're in the recession. This is the pandemic. This is the start right here. Okay? You can see where we're at today at 2.9%. That's pretty low. But again, we've been lower than that over here. Okay? In 2022, we were much lower than that. But this is the amount of money we were saving. If we go back to 2019 over here, look at this. Okay? We're up here at what, like 6%? We're averaging probably 6% over here savings. Now we're at half of that, at 2.9. So we're saving half of the money that we once did after the pandemic. Do you see a problem there? Because now we're dealing with inflation. We're dealing with a potential recession. I talked about this just the other day. And I told you guys that the American people should be scared. Now, again, I'm not saying this just to make sure that you are scared. Because, again, what am I going to gain out of you being scared? Nothing. All I'm here to do is tell you what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing from many people, from many business owners, many workers, managers, right? The higher ups is, yeah, we are seeing tough times on the horizon. Businesses are selling equipment. They're downsizing. They're laying people off. They're getting rid of certain office buildings. They're selling some of their growth plans, like future development lots. They're selling them. Selling warehouses. That's what they're doing. I talked about just the other day how people were saying that they're selling their fleet of cars from their business. Why would you sell some of your fleet? You're downsizing. You're trying to pay other bills. You're trying to stay afloat for an extra few months. That's why people are selling. So again, I don't want to come on here and try to, ruin your day by giving you bad news, but I'm trying to be realistic. Most people see this as an opportunity. But if you don't have money saved up, it's not going to be an opportunity. It's going to be a very difficult time for you and your family. But again, this is what nobody's ready for. I sent a message to somebody just the other day. He was selling a computer. Okay, this is a computer that he built. I think it was like last year, less than a year ago. But he was selling this computer. He was asking $4,800 for this. It's just a tower. Okay, just a desktop computer. And he's selling it for $4,800. In pieces, if you went through it, this computer probably cost him about $8,000, maybe a little bit less if he got some deals or some sales. But again, for computer parts, there weren't sales. So he's selling it for $4,800. And I talked to him, messaged him back and forth. Eventually, pretty much came to about $3,000. That would be the lowest he would go. So he went from $4,800, his initial ask, to he would go as low as $3,000. The reason why people are selling stuff like that is because they need the money. They absolutely need the money. Can't afford food. Can't afford to put gas in their car. Some people can't even pay for insurance for their car. Some people have canceled the insurance on their homes. That's a huge issue. So again, nobody's ready for what's coming, but it doesn't matter if you're ready or not. It is still going to happen. Experts believe we are headed towards a recession. It's just a matter of time, and the Federal Reserve is likely not going to do a single thing for you. They are going to push us in that direction of a recession, not a soft landing. As a result, we are going to see more pain. We're going to see more layoffs. We're going to see more foreclosures. Okay, more, people are going to see repossessions of their cars, of all their goods. That's what we're going to see. So again, If you are seeing any of the warning signs out there, please comment down in the comment section below and let me know, what are you seeing and what area of the country are you in? So again, I will leave you with that, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.